Hi there, Steve Kaufman here again to talk about, starting to speak, all right? First of all, if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe. Okay, I've been learning Greek. I think I've been at it for 2 months, mostly listening and reading. No, mostly, exclusively listening and reading. Mostly listening to these mini stories, which I've listened to each one of them, I don't know how many times, and read them. And so I decided I would start to speak. Now, we don't have any Greek tutors at Link, so I went to italki, as I have done before, as I've done for Polish, for Ukrainian, for Korean. No, not for Korean. At any rate, so I had my first 30 minutes with Greek. First time I've actually looked at a Greek person and spoken Greek. It was difficult. And that's what I want to get into here. Difficult for a variety of reasons. First of all, as with most well-meaning tutors, the tutor insists on explaining things in English, and it takes a lot of effort to persuade them that, in fact, you don't want to hear. I don't want to hear English explanations. I want to struggle through in Greek. So I'm hoping that that situation improves. And then, of course, the well-meaning tutors, they want to know, well, shall I send you a PDF on Greek grammar or a list of all the English words that have Greek origins and stuff? And maybe, but I can find those myself. What I really want is to try to speak in Greek and to have him, and I think I got that message across, write up a list of 10 or 15 words and phrases that cause me difficulty so that I can then review them and hopefully do better the second time. As an experience, of course, I failed miserably. Words that I can easily remember when I walk around the house trying to rehearse what I might say, once I'm confronted with a real live person and there's a little pressure, I can't remember the words. I don't know where they went to. Sometimes my brain heads down some Slavic path to pull some word up that doesn't belong, of course. So it's very difficult. But I know this. And typically, in most languages, I would normally wait much longer before speaking. I think I waited a year with Russian. I waited 6 months with Czech. Whenever you do start speaking, you're going to struggle. It's important to realize that you actually have to speak a lot to become good at speaking. It's just a question of when you start. Typically, I prefer, like I've got 2 months now in me. I've got, according to my statistics at Link, I have some 1,700 words that I at least know when I see them. And I got another 4,000 or so that I've saved. Some of them I know, some of them I don't know. So I've got some vocabulary. Theoretically, if I were able to recall everything that I've learned, I would have been able to speak. I think my pronunciation is quite good because I've listened so much. But eventually I have to speak a lot. So I had to look at my statistics. In Russian, where I've done most of my speaking, maybe not most, but a lot of my speaking with our tutors at Link, I have a statistic. I have spoken 179 hours of Russian, just at Link. That's not counting other conversations that I've had. So I've spoken a lot. Even in Czech, I think it's 30 hours at Link, and yet I did most of my speaking in Czech outside Link with tutors that I found on the internet. Yeah, you have to speak many, many hours. So I'm not at all discouraged. In fact, my goal in this is, because I know that speaking, however badly you speak, the goal is not to do well. The goal is to force yourself to try to remember things, to see where things are missing, to stimulate the brain a bit so that when I go back now to my listening and reading, I'm even more focused. And one thing I started doing now after seeing how that conversation went was I'm doing a little more reading out loud. So it's as if I'm pretending to be speaking. And so we'll see how all of this goes. I'm speaking to the same tutor again tomorrow. This time it's an hour. I'm hoping that we can keep it all in Greek. I don't mind struggling. And I think it's very good when the tutor hears you, lets you struggle a bit, and then sort of summarizes what you've said and starts using the words that you wanted to use. That's a lot better than giving you the English. And so in this way, slowly you start to, drag up the stuff that, you've been putting in your brain through all of this this input. I should say under normal circumstances, if it weren't for the fact that I'm going to Crete in October, I wouldn't be in any great hurry. I'm enjoying my listening and reading. We've got now, I think, 40 Greek lessons of the mini-story series in our library at Link. It's further ahead than the others because I'm actually paying someone to translate and record for me. I'm not waiting for all the volunteers. And now I've done them all, and I can't wait for the next story because it's fun to plow through and look up new words and so forth. We have some texts that are more difficult, quite a bit more difficult, you know, newspaper articles and political articles. And there I can make my way through it by looking up all the words, but there's no fluency there. And there's just too many words, too many new words. I haven't got a hope of remembering them. So I am hoping to get more of these simple stories that I can continue to use where there's a lot of repetition in each story. I'm able to listen to them many times, read them many times, and gradually build myself up. So there you have it, getting started. It's always a struggle, but I much prefer doing it when at least I have a hope of understanding what the other person is saying. I have at least the feeling that I should be able to find some words because I have some words. And so in this case, I've started after, say, 2 months of an hour or so a day of Greek learning. With Czech, it was 6 months. With Romanian, it was after 1 month because I was going to Romania. I had to do it. But with Romanian, again, there's so many words that are similar to Italian that it was a lot easier. With Greek, it's more difficult. So we will see how it goes. Thank you for listening. Bye for now. Oh, and I'm going to mention, by the way, I will do a separate video about the Langue Language Festival, Festival des Langues in Montreal. A great place for people to meet, people who are learning on their own or learning in schools. And I should point out, and I'll point this out again when I do this dedicated video, that anyone who registers at the Montreal Language Festival and uses as a code name Steve, not at all case sensitive, short, you know, small letters, big letters, capital letters, doesn't matter, Steve, you'll get a 25% discount. In fact, there's a whole range of discounts that you're entitled to. So I'm hoping to see you in Montreal in August. I'm going to be in Bratislava in the language or the polyglot conference there, end of May, early June. So, and that's it for today. Thank you. Bye for now.